Oh, shit. Boom. All right, we're live. Let's do this.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're live?
We're live.
I'm Tuesday.
I'm Cyrus.
And this is the Freak Show Podcast.
All right.
Welcome. I hope this is working. Let me see if it's working here. Freak
good.
Show is live.
We're live.
Here we are.
How do we look?
We look good. Oh, we gotta turn down the
Can you pull up a little bit? Hey, can you frame it up a little bit? It's a little low.
Get this down. All right. We'll get notified when viewers tune in there, and we'll see.
Move up a little bit. Move the camera up.
First one, technical difficulties. That looks good. That looks good.
Right there, yeah.
Hello. We'll see. Hopefully people tune in, but this is the first podcast for Freak Show.
Yeah.
We produce Freak Show, as you probably already know.
Yeah.
And it's my lovely co-producer here, Cyrus Narrative, Wave Cyrus.
All right. So this is Freak Show. Freak Show. If you haven't been to the phenomenon, the underground comedy scene phenomenon is Freak Show. It's a
freak-tacular
Freak Show.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a dark comedy variety show. We have sideshow acts, we have stand-up comedy, musical comedy, characters, other bizarre acts, and live music. And it occurs at the California Institute for Abnormal Arts. It is one of the biggest comedy variety shows. It's the biggest comedy variety show in LA.
Yeah.
And it is.
And it's dark.
It's dark. It's
a dark comedic variety show. That's Sam. And we got somebody over there I want to introduce to you who's helping us out real quick. I don't know, what do we call him? What's his label? We just hired him the other day.
Yeah, I don't know if we should really name him yet.
He's kind of like our Amazon Echo, Siri, Butler type guy, running all the...
Keep coming in here.
Down.
That's a good delay, that's what. Yeah. So, yeah, we're figuring out the name for this one yet. We haven't quite figured it out. We think he has juggling talents. We don't know.
All right, say hi.
Every good freak show needs a gimp, right?
Right, he's our gimp. He's running, he's listening to sound and making sure everything goes all right. So, if you have any questions, you can shoot them to us. Just write the comments down there. We'll check them. At the end of the podcast, we're going to draw some names for Freak Show merchandise. Yes. So, share, and I can share this too to my Facebook page. Share now public. Oh, that's not how it's gone. I've shared it to from Freak Show to Freak Show. Copy link.
So basically, what we're doing with this with the podcast is we have a lot of crazy acts. We have a lot of bizarre, off the wall people that come and perform, and always when we're at the shows, people ask, "Yo, how'd that guy get into this thing? What's their deal? Like, why is this person stapling money in their chest? How'd they get into it?" Mm-hmm. And I mean, we have all these people have incredible stories.
Yeah, we want to know why they do that. Yeah. Why they're doing this. What prompted them to shoot nails into their heads, swallow swords.
It's not an everyday office job, and people want to know how it happened. Mm-hmm. How did you get into it? And so we want to bring these people on. We want to just pick their brains and see what they're all about, and see why they. See how they work and have some laughs while we do it.
And Freak Show, we do the first Saturday of every month at the wonderful California Institute for Abnormal Arts. If you haven't been there, it's worth the fucking trip. The place is obnoxiously amazing. We've got mummies on display and all this other weird shit going on. And we do 2 shows, one at 7, one at 11. And they're 2 totally different shows each time. And we kind of got in this because, I was always called a freak magnet. I was always picked on because any weirdo would come up to me and talk to me. I mean, you've seen that.
Yeah.
You've seen that happen.
If there's a weird homeless person in like a 100-foot radius of Tuesday, they approach.
We were at a Winchell's in Tarzana, and we pulled up, and this guy stumbled out, and he walked in the total opposite direction. You can tell he was a crackhead, a weirdo, whatever. He didn't even see us. We walk inside, and all of a sudden he's outside, and we both saw him just kind of perk up. And he just kind of dazed, looked around, and then he walked right back into the store and walked right up and hovered near me. So my mother even calls me a freak magnet.
The only reason he didn't engage is I was there. If I wasn't there, he would have definitely engaged.
Exactly. And they will. I was walking down, I was married at the time, I was walking down Fremont Street. I was living in Vegas, had my mother with me, my husband, walking down Fremont Street, and this weirdo comes up to me that I'd never seen before, just like, "Hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. How you been?" And my husband was like, "Why? What do you do? Why are these people coming up to you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. They just do." My mother interrupted and said, "You can't fault her. She's been that way her whole life. She's a freak magnet. So if your mama calls you a freak magnet, you gotta own it.
That's true.
You gotta own it." So I was just, and my sense of humor, people always called me a freak. So the whole idea of Freak Show is that freaks come in all different flavors, colors, styles. There's freak comedians, there's people who do characters, musical comedy, the sideshow acts, performance artists. I wanted to put them all together in one spot. And we do.
Yeah. And while you're like kind of the loud, open weirdo, I'm kind of like, the guy looks pretty normal once you get to know me. You're like, oh, this guy's a psycho.
Right.
So, it's
Yeah,
kind of the yin and yang of weird here.
He's definitely got, some things going on in his closet.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And, so it's kind of like the yin and yang of weird.
Yeah, you fall down that rabbit hole a lot.
Just found a rabbit hole of weird stuff.
Tell them about what you had to do. Are you okay to tell them what you know? You don't want to talk about that? Okay, well, maybe some other time we'll talk about that. We'll save that for another one.
Yeah.
Well, we got what's up from Las Vegas? Wheelbarrow. Thank you. Chip, Jeremy Collins, Chip Jameson. Shout out to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. If you got any questions or anything, let us know. Christine, hey, how you doing? Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Let's
do it. Let's bring on our guest.
Yeah, we got an amazing guest for you. I mean, we always want to kick it into high gear. So our first guest has been.
He was on the first ever freak show at the CIA Theater.
Right.
He was the first ever sideshow act we ever had. He kind of kicked off the sideshow being a part of Freak Show.
Yeah, and he's always a first. He's a amazing entertainer. He's got a lot of things going on. And, well, you guys know him and you know him. Let's hear it for Dangerous D.
All right.
Yeah, you don't need to do that, Carrie. Not so bad.
Yeah, all right. We're getting cozy over here.
Yeah,
We're getting
come on
cozy.
down. Have a seat.
Watch out, I don't want to sit on this puppy. Okay, it's not going to bite me, is it?
No.
Sorry, I didn't want to walk in front of you, but I didn't know if I should go like ass to mouth or like dick to mouth, like which way.
I'm
was
good
supposed
with
to be.
anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
I figured whoever I came in would have been fine.
Yeah.
All right. So it's so good to see you. Thanks for having me. What's happening? My man.
Hi, Chris from Phoenix.
All right.
Yeah. And Wheelbarrow says Aussie Blood.
Oh, that's my homie.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Wheelbarrow. What's up,
We
my
know
man?
Wheel.
Thanks for tuning in, brother.
Yeah. Wheel was, you were at the taping, I think, Wheel.
He's
You were at
hardcore.
a couple of our shows, I think. So what's going on with you?
Man.
What's your story? What?
Keeping it dangerous, baby. Just
Yeah.
being.
First of all, but Danger D also from Maryland.
That's right.
Right
That's
here.
right. MD Pride represents.
right.
So all you cats in Baltimore better be listening. All right. Yeah, I'm keeping it busy, man. I'm just trying to make a buck. You
Aren't we
know,
all?
trying to make a buck and trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing all this crazy stuff?
Man,
How old were you?
it's like in my mid-20s.
Because some people are just around it. They start, they grow up around that shit, and so it's just a natural progression to get into it. But some people just, did you have like a high school pic or like elementary school pictures where you were just all clean cut and your mom dressed you? You know what I mean?
Actually, for a short time, yeah, I was the fat kid.
I was
Oh,
that
okay.
way.
I was like
Yeah.
a nerdy, like 300-pound
Really?
kid in school and stuff. But it wasn't. I mean, when I was younger, and then I got into high school, I was like a pain in the neck and a crazy problem. But I was always like a physical dude. Like I was always like fist fighting and jumping off of stuff and skateboarding.
Was that because you were like so big that you had something to prove? That
I had to.
So
That's
you
right.
lost the weight
I did actually,
by high school.
After high school, I did. I
Did
grew
you
like
do
a
something
foot.
special, or you just kind of just
Actually, I moved out of my parents' house, and my Italian mom stopped cooking for me. I went from eating like 400 pounds of macaroni a day to like
manja.
I was gonna say to eating like one meatball a week. You know.
I get it. I'm Italian too, so I
and
totally understand
I was
that.
a late bloomer, and then like I grew like a foot and slimmed down. But I was a lot of people don't realize I grew up in Maryland, but I was born in Brooklyn, New York. So like Coney Island was like up the street, and
Right.
that was like a big thing. And like,
It's a huge thing.
you went
Having New
as
Yorkers,
kids,
it's a huge
you know,
thing.
and you always saw the sideshow there and knew what was going on. And it always intrigued
Right,
me.
it's
It
like
was
going
always
to see the sideshow.
Oh, absolutely. And it was always there, like on the back burner. And then once I got like a little older, like I think like middle school, maybe even younger, I played drums, played music for a while. So I was in a couple different bands too, like Baltimore, DC, Annapolis area, doing that thing. And
you gotta say you were in your one band that later blew up.
well,
you want to talk about that one?
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it on the past.
I was gonna say we'll leave that for all you guys that know. Do a little research and see what Darin Malfi did on drums a while back, and you might remember something. But yeah, so the music that was going on, then the band like kind of broke up. Everything kind of like falling apart. I was like living in like Baltimore, doing my thing, and working at a hardware store. So while I was working at the hardware store, like
I see what's coming.
Yeah, the big
boredom.
The big box hardware store. Yeah, and I mean like full-time gig. You know what I mean? So I went to a community college and got like an associate's degree in like graphic design, which was basically like throwing your money in the trash.
Yeah.
So I'm working with this
What
hardware store.
community college?
Anne Arundel Community College.
Anne Arundel, shout out to Anne Arundel.
Yeah. You remember? You kicked me out. You remember? You remember now?
A squared, C squared.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
Harvard on the separate.
That's it. See, he knows. That's
What'd
exactly
you call
what
it?
A squared, C squared.
That's right.
Harvard?
Harvard on the separate.
ACC, baby. They're like, yeah, just come here. You can get into any university. I went there and they kicked me out. But I did get my associate, and I didn't use it. So I ended up, I was always like doing construction and swinging hammers as a kid. So I'm working at this hardware store. And one of my best friends of all time, this guy named Chris Scarborough, was also working there. And we started developing a friendship because he was in a punk rock bands and he was really into sideshow. And he basically, I mean, it was unbelievable. Like at the end of the night, you're like closing down shop and you're like facing product and like setting up for like the next. He'd like walk up to me and be like, "Hey, check this out." He'd take a huge like railroad spike and like hammer it into his nose. And I'd be like, "Holy shit! What the fuck are you kidding?"
Wow.
And like I said, I was Italian, so at lunch break we'd go in the back. I'd open up my huge like sausage and pepper sub, my greasy sandwich. I'm eating this thing. He'd sit right next to me. He'd open up his lunchbox. He'd take out a light bulb and eat this. And I was like shitting myself. I'm like,
I remember the first time I saw a guy do that. I was working in a bar in Vegas, and he just came in. I was working the midnight to 6 a.m. shift, and 3 in the morning. He just came in, sat down, ordered a martini, made it for him. Not many people in there and stuff. Talking to him, seemed like a normal guy and everything. And then he's like, "Do you have an extra light bulb?" And I'm like, "Well, why is one out?" I'm looking around the bar like.
Right.
He's like, No, I just want to show you a trick. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm 4 o'clock in the morning. There's 3 other people here. Entertain me.
Right.
I've been entertaining all night.
Right.
So I found a light bulb and gave it to him, and he just took it and he just started munching on it. And I was like,
Holy smoke.
"Ooh, you're so cool!"
I know it blew my mind, and I was like a fan first. And so basically, I knew that he did like sideshow stuff. And he actually, while we were living in Maryland, Chris went to Sideshow by the Seashore, like went to Coney Island, learned under Todd Robbins, learned how to do fire, and learned all, gnarly shit. He comes back and he's like, "Hey, I got like this stuff that I'm doing." So I went and saw him performing, and he would basically do a few stunts before his band went on. And he had a kick-ass punk rock band called Wasted City. They were just like, they were awesome in like in the area. People just like loved them. Their shows were nuts. And to go long story short, I saw him perform, and his stage presence was like horrible. He was like sticking the microphone in his armpit, like bending down with his ass to the crowd when he's picking stuff up. So I was basically like, "Dude, you should do this and that." And instead of him being like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Well, why don't you do it?" But so I became like his Flavor Flav. I started out being
So
his
you were
hype
drumming,
man.
and then
I was
in
drumming a
between
bit,
sets,
and
you
then
left the drums and you come
well,
up
this
front.
was once my bands had broken up, so
Oh,
I was like
okay.
looking for the next thing.
Oh,
I was
okay.
actually looking to
Okay.
start another
Get
band.
the clock on.
Yeah, I literally, dude, the top hat, the clock, and the shades. You know what I mean? And I was his Flavor Flav, and I would be like the hype man. And then it got to the point where he was progressing and doing so well, and his show was developing that he was literally getting booked all over the place in a lot of events. That he was like, "Hey, you need to learn some shit and like do some stunts so we can make this like a full show."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than you just screaming at a microphone.
Right.
So we get off of the hardware store one night, and he's like, "Hey, come to my house and drink some beers." I show up, and he's sitting in the backyard. He's like smoking a cigar, drinking a beer, and he was like, "So you want to get in the sideshow?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "See if you can fit through this toilet seat." Right? So sure enough, first of all, I don't know where the fuck he got a toilet seat from, but
Well, that was my next
stole it.
question.
We stole
Was
it
it
from the
off
hardware
the
store. We stole it from the
toilet?
hardware store. The answer. We stole it from the hardware store.
probably he probably did.
Was it off the toilet?
It was, yeah,
Okay.
it was removed, and of course, me not paying attention, I didn't know if it was brand new or used. But
Yeah.
either way, I try to start going through this thing. I get like a quarter of the way through, I get stuck, And now I'm like legitimately like flailing around. I'm stuck. I'm like, dude, give me the fuck out of here.
Hyperventilating.
Dude, he's got a saw. He gets a sawzall, cuts me out of this thing. Week passes, the same thing. After work, we're drinking some beer. He's like, hey, see if you can fit through this coat hanger. I start going through a coat hanger. I'm like halfway through, same thing. I'm stuck.
Was it a plastic one?
No, the metal one.
The metal one.
Yeah, the wire one. So I get stuck. He bends. He clips me out. A week later, we're drinking again. He shows up. He's got like a gutted tennis racket. He said, now I'm gonna tell you this for the last time. He's like, get yourself through this tennis racket, or I'm gonna fucking force you through this tennis racket. So sure enough, I start and I'm halfway stuck, and I can't get through. He comes over. He grabs both ends, and he just pushes down as hard as he can. Slams down, my right shoulder pops out of socket, my arm like goes like numb, the thing goes down, it gets like stuck right here, and I'm like, oh my god, he's like, finish, he's like, get through the racket. So I go to lift my arm, I can barely move this arm that's out. I lift this arm up to like get the rest of the racket down. As I go to try to like move this arm up, it like pops back in. And I was like, oh shit. So I kind of like finish and I get through and I'm like, there, we did it. And from that day, that was like the gateway drug.
So is that how you're supposed to do that trick, or is that just like a...
That's not how you're supposed to do it, because technically it's not a trick. It's just having your body flexible enough to get through it. But
Right.
I'm kind of broad chested. I got like big shoulders, and the tennis racket that I use, the only way my body can fit through it is I got to pop my shoulder out and basically like Houdini used to do to get a straight jacket, buckle it up to get through. And then if you watch and you see the stunt, which you know, I start to struggle a little bit. As I'm struggling to get it down, I'm like trying to get it down, but also trying to get my arm the fuck back in the socket. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do the thing. But that's not necessary to do it. I'm just a fucking idiot.
It's what works for you.
It's my way.
It's your craft. It's your secret. Being an idiot. Everyone's got a secret.
That's what it is. People ask me what you do for a living. I say dumb shit.
People love dumb shit.
Oh yes, they do. They do. They do. So yeah, that was it. And ever since then, it just snowballed, man. Then like I tried to like read books, and I even jumped on local like carnivals that were in the neighborhood, so I could work the games and just figure out shit and like talk to people and learn as much as I could. And my main goal was, you know, not to say, oh, I'm going to retire as the most famous sideshow guy or like retire on that, but it was really to come in and pioneer something, create something, add something to the table, and be able to do it for a living. And
So how old were you at that point?
like I said, like mid-20s. I think I was like
Mid-20s?
25, maybe 24.
Okay.
And you're still in Baltimore at this point, right?
Yeah. I was in Baltimore doing, and actually, I stayed there because of the two of us doing the show, and we were really planning on the two of us were like, hey, we've finally blown up. We're doing this a couple of years. Now's the time to like let's start touring. So we really for like 3 or 4 years solid. I mean, we got sponsored by Flying Dog Brewery. We were sponsored by Jägermeister, Southern Comfort.
Nice.
Like we blew up, and we basically maxed out on the East Coast. We were performing in New York, like all these places doing corporate events.
When you were in Baltimore, did you run into any of those, like, you know, like John Waters did all his movies there, and he had, like, you know, all his characters. Like, I know Mig Stoll eventually came out here.
Right.
You know, but any of those, like, Edith Massey, she still lived over there.
Yeah, and actually those
Have
cats...
you ever run into any of those things?
Sometimes, and actually, you know what was a big thing that we used to run into was I can't remember his name now, but the singer, the dude from Fugazi, Minor Threat. He lived like him, and actually guys from Polka Dot Cadaver, Todd Smith, another shout out. These are like local heroes that kind of did what we did as kids, and then everybody grew up and like fell by the wayside, and these guys just kept fucking going, and then became like idols. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you would, you know what I mean? And actually, I remember a couple shows that we did. You know, like you know, so like some of the Ramones would pop in and come through there and stuff like that. But you know what I mean, like things like that. But it was really
I used to run into them at CBGB's.
Yeah, and I mean they would come through like DC and Baltimore and stuff. But really, our scene and like what we were doing, it was such like it really. It's funny. It's almost like a cliche, but it was like, you know, sideshow, freak show, weird, odd shit, punk rock, skaters, and like darkness. And
Well, Baltimore's always had that weird.
And that's what it was, like that
And
art
it started
thing,
out
and-
with like that's what John Waters' his muse was the city of Baltimore
Right,
and all the
right.
freaks that he ran into.
Yeah, Baltimore's got everything in that city. It's got like the hood, it's got like a punk rock scene, it's got like a blues scene. It's got like literally everything in that little tiny town.
Yeah. I mean, it was. We were lucky to do it because it's like the typical story of being like, you know, big fish in a small pond type of thing. So we were able to kind of. I mean, we basically did. We like raked the East Coast. We were looking at each other like, all right, well, what bigger and better thing?
Right.
Where can we make more money doing the stuff that we're doing? And we kind of were like, hey, let's pack it all up, like do a tour and that whole thing. And not to beat up my buddy Chris because I love him, but he ended up meeting his wife, getting married, had a kid, and that slowed the roll. So then it became a thing where he couldn't really do a whole bunch of stuff because he had to provide for a family. So he's working full-time jobs and doing stuff. Still a badass though. Like every show I'm booking, he's coming out and doing that thing, getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work and stuff. And it got to the point where I was beating him up and then not taking certain gigs out of state and stuff.
Right.
You know, but we really developed the show as the two of us. So it got to the point where I started doing a little bit more on my own, developing a show on my own. And then I was, like I said, I was living in like the hood in Baltimore, looking around at just dark, nasty, garbage shit all day.
Yeah.
And everybody else like around me was like, you know, doing this and getting new jobs and having kids and getting married and like, you know, doing their career. And I'm like, I'm performing for like peanuts on the corner, getting locked up every other week. I'm like, this is bullshit. So I made a decision because one of my homies that I grew up with was living out here for a while. And I basically hit him up and was like, hey, let me crash on your fucking couch and see what LA's about.
And then
That was it. A book bag of like $100. Shot out here, man.
Yeah.
The rest is like, and I have to say, like, I love Baltimore. I love Maryland. I love New York. I love like where I came from, my roots, and that made me who I am. But being out here has like changed everything. Like when you wake up and it's fucking sunny and birds are chirping and there's flowers and fucking palm trees and shit. You're like, even a dude like me that like, you know what I mean, wants to go home and drink blood and kill people. I walk outside and I'm like, holy fuck, this is like, I'm living in a movie. This is fantastic.
It's amazing the change.
It
I mean,
changes your
you're
fucking
still
life, dude,
yourself,
yeah.
but you can get more done. I mean, I still fight my depression. I still, you know, listen to like old Kate Bush and laugh. That's what makes me laugh, you know? All that, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm still that punky goth girl from way back that is depressed all that, but I can get shit done out here. And people don't realize, you know, they think of LA and they think of, you know, Botoxed and perfect blonde, tan beach girls and stuff. They don't realize that LA has a huge underground freak scene.
Absolutely. It's it's like the facade of New York. Like, granted, I'm like a walking cliche. Like, my whole family are Italians from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever you think of like
New
New
York,
York, you think of something,
Sicilian,
hey, how you doing? Let me go get a slice of pizza, maybe some fucking Brazil. Hey, how you doing? Like that whole thing. And it's like, there's actually so much more to New York than that. And the same thing with LA. When I came out here, that shit is out here, but I really learned that like there's someone like, and nobody ever says this, but there's some of like the most real down to earth motherfuckers out here. Because granted, you have people that are out here that just want to take advantage of you. They see what it is, they grab a hold. But dude, they're like a brush of the wind, you know. Yeah. But the cats that stick around
So many
are artistic. You gotta weed through. You know, you gotta weed through.
There's like literally everything out here.
And find the right cats. But it's been, I've had so much support out here. Like even the cats tuning in now. Everything that I've done out here has been unbelievable, and I don't see myself leaving anytime soon.
Yeah, I can't imagine living anywhere else. I've lived in New York, I've lived in Seattle, I lived in San Francisco, I lived in South Carolina, I lived in Atlanta. I can't see living anywhere else. I can't see doing anything else. This, you know, LA it's out of the box. The people come here and, you know, the ones who don't last are the ones who are like start freaking out. Oh my God, I gotta make $372 every week to you know, live in the squalor. If I don't have a check coming in every Friday at 4 o'clock, I'm gonna. No, you got to think outside the box, and you can do well here.
Exactly.
It comes to you. And I've always hated that word, that term. I used to laugh at people who say this, and I hated them. Those kind of like new age hippie people who would go, "You just throw it out into the universe." But you know, it's
let
fucking,
the city take you.
It's
the city will take you where it
true.
wants to go. I punch people like that in the dick.
I know,
you know what I mean?
but you know, it's true.
Yeah.
There's a truth to it. If you just let it go and you be yourself, and you know, it's gonna happen for you.
No, it's true.
When you're a fake piece of shit,
and that's the thing that blows
you
my
don't
mind.
last.
It's like the shit that I do out here, and I get paid really well to do. I did that exact same stuff back home and got locked up for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like what? Like you were talking on shelves or it's on the street or like?
Both. Like out here, if like times are rough and like, cause granted, dude, we're in the entertainment business. You can have a couple good months and you're living large, going to Vegas, doing your thing. Then you have a couple months where stuff is brutal and you're like, all right, I'm eating ramen again.
Yeah.
So like that's just like the way it goes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where if you need like a buck or like literally a couple bucks to like eat that day. I could walk out right now, out of this place, out of the studio, go down on the street, throw my hat down, give me 15, 20 minutes, I'll get enough food to eat tonight.
Yeah.
If I did that back home, I would get arrested before somebody threw a coin in the hat.
See, that's the difference between you and I, because I could do the same thing, but I would still get arrested.
Yeah.
I don't do
You'd also make more money than me.
I don't do the kind of tricks he does.
So you're talking about like you're like where were you like in the Inner Harbor or something? You try to do that down there?
Yeah, actually, not to Baltimore. It depended on where you went, but Inner Harbor they gave you a lot of shit at certain times. Basically, Baltimore's a little different mentality. It's like if you showed up and like did your thing and got the hell out, just like move quick.
Yeah.
Like you were all right, but I don't know how many times I got arrested in Annapolis.
Really?
Like right downtown and that, like where like the docks are and everything.
What they charge you, like panhandling or something?
I've been arrested on the docks too.
Yeah, like right. You were doing something. You were doing a different type of show, though, weren't you? But yeah, I mean, it's rough because you know out
So
here
that,
people
the
cater to
docks
that
area
shit.
is it like?
Well, they
No,
just
they
don't
have
know
like a-
about it.
they have
They
like
don't even know what
yeah,
a
they have
fucking
like
street
a-
performer is. So they basically you're like
But
a
it's
bum.
not like a
No, they-
entertainment venue area.
Not at all. It's just a
It's-
place where kids come with their parents to sit and eat ice cream and watch
Oh,
boats.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
You know, but it's a huge gathering. A lot of people
Right.
on a Saturday afternoon are
Yeah.
sitting there at this place.
There's a
So
lot of shops. And
you
like
go over, you
restaurants.
tap dance, you throw a hat down, you start barking a little bit.
Yeah.
People are not used to that, so they're willing to. If once you teach them, you know, it's all crowd
Right,
manipulation.
right.
That's my big thing. You know, you teach,
Right.
but before someone can get up and throw $1 in your hat, the cops are walking over like, "What are you doing? You got a permit? You got a-" and like, there's not even like, you know, I don't even think right now you can actually get a permit to perform in Annapolis. Like, who the fuck even knows? You know what I mean?
Well,
but they got good, great crabs. Holy shit, they got some good crabs.
Annapolis haters.
Yeah.
Remember that up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, that place is
If
crazy.
you got any questions, you know, just pop them in here. I'm reading this as we go, viewers. So
You
feel
pop
free
them
to
in, I'll
ask.
pop this.
Pop
That place
them
is
in.
great, dude. When you go out there, it's really easy to get in a fight down there. Because all the guys, the naval academies out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Those guys
yeah,
get
yeah.
blasted when they're 1 weekend free. They get blasted. It's super easy.
And it's
to get in a
always
fight.
20 of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not never even a fair fight.
And
It's
it's
always like
fun.
20 motherfuckers in uniform
And they
dragging
want-
your ass outside.
And they want to
And
practice what they've
beating
been
you
learning
up.
in school the whole time.
I did that show in Lancaster, and I did that joke about, you know, going out on the first date, ended up in bed, because that's what sluts like me do. And when I said sluts like me, it was all full of the military-based people that night at the show. And the guys are like, yeah, sluts! Yeah!
A
I'm
little
like,
pre-cum
can
shot.
I finish the show? Can I finish the show?
No.
That wasn't even
No
the
more.
punch.
And they were
But
like,
I
"That was
had them the
enough."
rest of the
Yeah,
night,
that
though.
was
It didn't
enough for
matter.
me.
Yeah, it didn't matter what I said. They loved me. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So you went, you made it here to LA. So what are the things you've been doing? Tell us about, you know, your journey from there and how you got into, you know, OZZFEST and all that.
I really did. I got, well, a lot of people say I got lucky. That's part of it. But I also worked my ass off. And
Yeah.
it was one of those things where, like I said, I came out here and knew nobody. I knew nothing. And I was like online. Like I was in the scene. I was going to clubs every night. I was literally
So
searching.
you do like every
everywhere.
show. It's like there's pretty much no show you pretty much say no to.
Right, 100%. It could have been like a
Sorry, I gotta
40-year-old's
somebody,
birthday party.
I gotta read a couple of these.
Yeah,
Somebody was like, they're enjoying the show. Christine's enjoying the show. Thank you, Christine.
All right, Christine.
Derek Stevenson, Flying Dog. I guess when Sam came
Yeah,
up.
Fly Dog.
Oh, yeah.
This one I don't understand. Wheelbarrow is like, answer the phone that's vibrating. Is there a phone vibrating somewhere? Somebody getting a call?
No, it's probably some.
That might be the dildo in my back pocket. Is that?
No, it's not in your back pocket
Oh,
anymore.
all right.
I kind of grabbed that when you walked in.
You're wondering why my trousers were light.
And I'm out of the box. Thanks, Wheelbarrow.
Yeah, you're out of the box.
I'm out of the box, bitch. Keep those comments coming. Keep them coming. Hey, Cold Slots on Fire. Our very
there
own
we go.
Disasterina is
That's
joining
right.
us to
Love
watch.
Serena.
Yeah,
Wow,
we love
awesome.
her. So, but yeah, go ahead with
Yeah,
that.
we're talking about you doing every show.
Yeah, so
I was always impressed because people are always like, there's just comics that are like, I don't know if I'm going to give this show. And it's all you have to do is show up and just spout out some bullshit you made up in the car right over.
Exactly.
And it's like, this guy's fucking stapled. And he goes like, yeah, whatever.
and that was
He's
it.
one of the greatest guys to work with. So
Oh,
easygoing.
thank you.
I mean, it's so professional. You just get there. You're early. You're like, okay, what do you want me to do? And yeah, and it's so great and it's so rare to find.
Well, you guys are a lot of fun to work with. Put on a great show.
Oh, thank
So I expect everybody tuning in to be at the next freak show.
April
Even if
1st.
you are from Annapolis.
Fly in.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Right.
Bring some crabs. Natty bows.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a while since I had a bow. That's
Oh,
for sure.
they're figuring it out. Somebody's probably.
Yeah, you know what it is? I know what it is.
Somebody's texting Cyrus or using Cyrus's phone.
Someone send me dick pics. That's
Somebody's sending Cyrus dick pics. So Cyrus, our first one. We'll work that out. Cyrus doesn't know how to like turn on the do not disturb sign and all that on his phone. We'll figure that out. But
It's off now.
So you get a little buzz as we talk.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right. This show is way better if you sit on your phone.
Yeah, just sit on the phone.
You sit on the phone. It's a great show.
Yeah, there's a lot of things when you sit on it. It's a great show. Trust me. Oh, trust me.
Right. I mean, you feel me?
So you got out here. What were you doing when you first got out here? Were you just like going down to Venice Beach and busking?
Yeah, 100%. Actually, when I first came out, I was staying on my buddy's couch in El Segundo. And
El Segundo.
Right? I didn't leave my fucking wallet there. I don't want to hear that goddamn comment again. Everyone that I told from back home, I'm like, yeah, I'm living in El Segundo. Like, oh yeah, well I left my wallet there. I'm like, yeah.
No, you didn't, asshole.
I remember Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
we all do.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm crashing on his couch. He's working like a dog, like 10 jobs or whatever. He's never home. So I'm like, what do I do? And where I'm at, it's like a skateboards trip to Dockweiler Beach or like a 10-minute drive to Venice. So I'd go to Dockweiler and I'd skate down to Dockweiler, hang out there and have like breakfast, chill out, do my thing to get my head right, get my schmon together. Get my schmon together. And then I'd jump in the car and I'd putt over in my busted Oldsmobile over to Venice Beach. Take me 2 hours to find parking. Bang, I'd find it. I'd get there by like 9:30 in the morning. I'd fight the LA Breakers and all other kinds of people that have been doing busking there for like 20 years for a spot. I'd bust like crazy all day long and make like $3. Then I would walk up the boardwalk to the Venice Beach Freak Show and I'd hound dog Todd Ray to give me a job. I was like, please, just give me a job. I'll do anything. I will hang from my ball sack from the rafters. You could set me on fire and hit me like a piñata. Please give me a job. And he's outside talking, so he's like, all day.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. So I would go there like, this was like every weekend.
Yeah.
Do this over and over and over again. And I was making nothing. Then all of a sudden, I'm watching, paying attention to what's going on. My verbal game gets a little better. I start reading the crowd, and the next thing you know, I'm making like 50, 60 bucks. Then I'm making like a couple $100.
Yeah, I mean,
Then I start breaking out the staples.
his verbal
and I'm
game
making
got
like
a little better.
rent.
His verbal game, I'm sure, was always on point.
Right.
He
Well,
just
I
needed
was
to
always
tighten it a
that's
little.
what it was. I was always a talker, but it's just like anything else. Like when you're on the East Coast, you talk real fast, you
Yeah.
move real quick. When you're on the West Coast, you slow it down a little bit. You kinda
Exactly.
explain. And it's learning and reading. It's what I call crowd manipulation. It's
Yeah.
why I am doing what I'm doing. I'm not the baddest ass sideshow guy with the baddest ass stunts, but I can talk better, faster, and quicker than anybody next to me. And not only that, I'm taking $1 out of your pocket and I'm gone before you realize I took it.
Right.
And that's how that worked. And I figured how to turn tips.
He did!
Right,
Where's my dollar?
And it just worked out, man. And things finally. And actually, I ended up working at the Freak Show, the Venice Beach Freak Show, for a little while. I ended up doing some stuff. I learned a lot there, and I went on tours with a few different traveling circuses and stuff. And it just started happening like one thing after another because I didn't stop. I just kept going, and I was eat, breathing, living, sleeping all day from the time I woke up, and barely like 3 days in a row, wouldn't even go to sleep, and all I was doing was sideshow shit. Trying to book shows, trying to hustle, working on logos, doing this, getting my name out, flyering, old school stuff, talking to people, being in the scene. And it worked out, and then it snowballed into, I finally had enough, material to like put on shows and like do a full bit.
Right.
So I went to the CIA and knocked on the fucking door. Carl opened up, and I was like, hey, I don't know anybody. I do sideshow stuff. It looks like you online that you've done sideshow here. Can I? He's like, I think we got a show maybe like next week you might be interested in.
Carl's good about that.
Dude, I jumped on the show, and
about
it
that.
changed everything, and it just started snowballing, and then it went from that doing regular stuff and jumping on a show for $20 and free drinks to all the way, like I said, snowballed to I'm out here 6 months, and I fell into the right audition, and now I'm performing sideshow with Rob Zombie on tour, and it just changed the whole fucking game, dude.
Yeah,
Like
Rob
it changed
Zombie's
everything.
shit.
So let's go back. One thing, maybe if you want, I don't want you to release too many of your secrets, but maybe like when you talk about the crowd manipulation thing, like what's one of the things you did that really kind of turned it for you?
What I realized was that even though you're performing, there's a big difference where you're performing and entertaining and doing something is sometimes harder to get $1 from somebody when someone's just sitting there asking for it, okay? Because especially if you put on a good show, and here's where the psychology comes in. If you're a great performer and you're standing on the street doing really well, people don't look at you like a bum idiot fuck who needs money.
Yeah.
They look at this guy like a sharp guy that's taking advantage of me. And there's a fine line between saying, hey, look, I know I'm performing on the streets, but I'm also fucking living here. Like, I live here, you know? And you have to learn the psychology of the way people think about certain things. And basically what you need to say is, hey, look, you need to explain to them, and without coming out and saying it, with certain words and verbiage and body language, to say, hey, look, I could just be standing here with a cup begging you for money.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to actually entertain you for that dollar. So if it's worth it, you don't have to give me shit. But if you thought that if I earned it and it was worth it, throw a little something in the hat.
Yeah.
And you build on it, and like I said, once you understand that different nationalities, you know how to play, and what it comes down to is you got to show those people, even though you're doing a show, you're just like them, you're real. You're right there. They can reach out and touch me. I can reach out and touch them.
Yeah.
That dollar they threw in the hat that they earned for, I'm sitting here earning it too. I'm not just, you know.
Well, there's a
asking
lot of
for it.
people that come from other countries, or even in our country, that come and they view people like you, people, street entertainers and stuff, and their mentality is that, oh, that's their job. So they think you're already getting paid for it.
Right.
They kind of look at you as like you're working for Disney, because when in
100%
Disney,
right.
everybody's working. They're all getting a paycheck. So they take that mentality and they go, oh yeah, well this is Venice Beach. You know, the Venice Beach City Council must pay these people.
Right, yeah.
You
A
know?
lot of people think that.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of people do.
And they don't understand that.
Some dumb people out there.
Oh yeah, especially in Venice Beach. Oh, I love me
Yeah.
some Venice Beach, but good God Almighty,
Christopher
God Almighty.
Bazoo just joined us.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Bazoo.
give a shout out to my man
Is
Bazoo.
Bazoo on the 4-1 show?
Yeah, Bazoo will be on
Fuck
the April Fool's show, their second anniversary show.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Bazoo's my man. I have some fun with that guy.
Dude, how are you doing on Time Tuesday?
How's Timekeeper over there?
While we mentioned Bazoo and you're checking time, dude, let me plug it.
37 minutes so far.
Make sure you go on my website. Go to Darin Malfi, DarinMalfi.com, and check out the upcoming shows. Me and Bazoo actually have something coming up at the Yost Theater here in a little while that we cooked up. We cooked up some danger soup that you might not need to add any ingredients to.
Yeah.
Was it gonna be you guys on a combo show or something?
We we have some stuff that we've been working on, kind of together, and then together, like a separate act, and we tie it together and stuff. I can't really say too much without giving it away. You know what I mean? But me and Bazoo have been working closely together, and he's like my little ace in the hole.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what's that date. Look on my website. I'm not sure what date it is. I'm in a different freaking place every day. I'm in a different city. I think it's the 24th. Is it?
Is that the Santa Ana one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, at the Yost Theater, the 24th, the Fools Festival.
A lot of sword crossing, probably.
Oh, yeah. We cross streams like you wouldn't believe.
Wait, stream crossing.
And if you see any rainbows, that means we're getting gay.
Well, I just saw somebody, I forget where, maybe in that Dark Circus group or something, about somebody posted another clip again of you and Ozzy
Oh,
doing the tug of war thing.
holy smokes! Yeah, he's another.
But what he's talking about, is Ozzy Blood is a great sideshow guy. He puts meat hooks through his sinus cavities, and
Puts
then
it in through his nasal cavity and out through his mouth.
yeah, and then there's a chain hooked up from that meat hook to Dangerous D's ears, and they're doing a tug of war on stage.
Oh, that literally is a brutal deal. We've done that a couple times, and it's a full on no joke, no being soft on each other, a full on tug of fucking war. And twice, I'm not even joking. One time we did it where we were at Freak Show Wrestling in Vegas, and I yanked on it so hard that when we got off stage, he pulled the hook out. He just started bleeding out of his mouth. He didn't even know. He's sitting out we're backstage with all these big beefy wrestlers, and these huge ripped ass dudes are walking up to him holy shit, dude, that was crazy. You're fucking up. And he's just wiping the blood off. And then 2 shows after that, we do a tug of war so hard. He pulled me so hard, my right ear went deaf and was out for 2 weeks.
Wow.
When it gets clogged like water or some bullshit or
Didn't
whatever.
you tell me once that you had some
Oh, you bust your spleen, right?
Oh.
so that's what it was.
Yeah.
By the way, hold on. The stuff that Ozzy, Danger, all this side, that's real. They're not illusions.
Yeah.
They're really doing all the stuff.
That's my biggest thing with all this, and that's one thing that I've been adamant about, and I've pounded it over and over, is that if you know a little bit about anatomy and you just do a little homework and know your own body, you'll be shocked what the fucking human body can do. You don't need to pretend you're doing shit.
No.
Your body can really do some fucking wild stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Everything we do is 100% real. It's no tricks, no gags, no illusions. It's straight up pain-proof shit that you gotta have your mind in a specific spot or be crazy fucking nuts to just make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and Ozzy too, he's an extreme shock show guy, and he's where it's at. I have a lot of fun with him.
I have no problem watching the hooks go in, the nails go in, you being stapled, you putting the tennis racket thing. For some reason, it's when you take these things out, or when he takes the meat hooks out.
Yeah.
That's what gets you.
You know what gets me is off the eyelids. When they hang the stuff off the
That's
eyelids.
gnarly. Yeah, that's gnarly. That's a gnarly. I tried that a few times, and I wear contact lenses.
Yeah.
Tried a few times, and every time I did it, my lenses would like pop out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't lift a quarter of the weight that half these guys out here are doing. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of something you're either born with or you're not, right?
It is, and that's the thing is like with sideshow people, and people don't realize, and that's the whole thing too. Like even with like the name Freak Show, like this whole fucking thing started with people that were born different physically.
Yeah,
than
Siamese
us.
twins.
Right,
Yeah.
and because they were born different and
legs.
physically different, watching them do regular shit that we would do, like writing a letter or rolling a cigarette or putting an envelope, licking the. Doing those things if you don't have any arms is fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where all this starts. So what happens is, because of technology and medication, and doctors and all this, you start to see less and less born, freaks with disabilities and those type of things. But what it snowballs into, which are what I'm considered in the industry, is a working act. It's a person doing those things as a normal human,
Right.
like a normal person, right? So what it comes down to is you really have to know your body specifically. Not everybody can swallow swords. Not everybody can do blockhead. Not everybody can do the human hourglass. You have to know what your body is capable of doing, and then once you know where you fall in that realm of things, you have to fucking go at it like an animal, and you have to push your body to the like my fiance Madeline, like some of the stuff that I do, she gets like upset. She's like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know what I mean? You get like, but if you don't push yourself to where, like, after certain shows, I can't get out of bed, like. I'm covered in blood, like peeling the blankets off of me like a fucking fruit roll up, and I can't even get up because I went like ham retarded the night before. You have to do those things to know where your body is to find the perfect medium.
Yeah.
You got to go from one extreme to the other, and if you don't, you're kind of lagging through and doing stuff that everybody else does. But certain people, and like I said, and it's honestly probably the reason why I am where I'm at in sideshow is because in like the first time in like maybe like 20, 30, 40 years that sideshow has been going on, I pioneered something brand new. The human hourglass, the zip tie thing around the waist, no one has ever done that. Everything you see now is like a rendition of something else. Like the human blockhead, that's the same thing as the meat hook, just a different rendition. Yeah. Sword swallowing, even the tennis racket, that's a contortion. Tennis racket on fire. But the human hourglass was something that just was brand new, nobody did, and it caught the attention of not only people in sideshow, but everybody else. Because that's why you go to a freak show. That's why you go to a freaking gnarly ass, off the cuff, on my guard type of entertainment, is to see some shit you won't see anywhere else in the world. To see some shit you're never gonna forget. And if you bring that to the table, it changes things. So I started doing this thing.
Yeah, tell everybody what it is, the human hourglass, before we.
So basically, what I do is I take an industrial zip tie that you can purchase at a local hardware store. I wrap it around my waist and I pull it and constrict it till my waist becomes the size of a bagel. I actually have 3 world records for doing this, but trying to beat my own world record like a frickin' idiot, I ruptured my spleen, and I thought that was like the end of my game.
Yeah.
But sure enough, I bounced back like that because I strung like a bull. I bounced back.
How weird are your shits after you do the zip tie thing?
I'll put it to you like this. Actually, me and my fiance Madeline were having this conversation not too long ago. Since I started doing the zip tie, I have not had a solid shit ever. I'm not joking. I'm not talking about like what I'm talking about. Full-fledged, full-on, just like piss out your ass. And it's one time every day in the morning. I drink a cup of coffee, I smoke 2 packs of cigarettes, and I shit for 45 minutes. And it's literally like a hose running to fill up a garden. That's it, and that's the end of the. I haven't seen a solid shit.
There you go, folks. There's my new diet right there. Zip tie.
I'm telling you, zippity dippity, zippity dippity.
If you have a problem staying regular, just zip tie yourself in the gut.
That's right.
Peanut your ass for the rest of your days.
Oh my god.
That's right. That's right. Message me after the show, and we can do a personal Skype session.
So you did it
all natural.
the first time, and you didn't couldn't release it, right?
So
you couldn't release the
right.
tie in time, and it ruptured your spleen?
Well, no. What happened was, I did it over and over again because I was doing it to myself.
Yeah.
And I was pulling this thing to know where I can stop and where I can start. As I'm doing it to myself, and Guinness World Records there, and there's 2 other cats there, for world record. As I'm doing it, I'm noticing that I can actually go a little smaller, but I can't crank it that far.
Yeah.
And each time we do it, my buddy Chris is cutting me out of this thing each time, right?
Yeah.
So finally, what I basically did was I had Chris, and we did it like 20 times that night.
Yeah.
I already set the record because there was a world record for a woman with the most constricted waist, and it was like set in like 1920 for some chick that did like a corset, and it was like 2 inches in diameter or something.
Yeah,
and
it's insane.
I don't think anyone will ever break that record. But there wasn't one for male with the most constricted waist. So of course, I start playing around with a belt, string, like all kinds of shit. I'm trying to figure it out, like rope and stuff, like trying to figure this out. And so I contact these guys, and they're like, "All right, cool. This is a brand new thing. No one's done this." So I'm really trying to go ham, and so we set a record, and then we do it. We're hanging out and we're talking and stuff, and then I'm like, I think I want to go like as small as I can go, because as soon as I do this, someone's gonna try to beat this shit, and if they beat it like the day it drops, I suck. Yeah. So I had my buddy Chris, who, mind you, is like 300-pound tattooed teddy bear, but tattooed biker dude, like a strong man, rip frying pans in half.
Right.
Like not even phone books. He would take frying pans and rip them in half.
Jeez.
This guy was an animal. So he'd do crazy stuff. So I had him, he put his foot on my leg, and he took a hold of the zip tie, and he pulled this thing as hard as he could.
Wow.
This thing went to like 4.5 inches, and that was it. That was like the end of the game. Like I saw stars, I started blacking out. He caught me and stuff, like he had to clip me out and whatever, but so we set the record. No one's even gonna come close to that. I don't even think there's been another female that's even come close to that since we did it. But what happened was, we finished up, everything's cool, we start drinking, we even ate, smoking, we're looking at the footage. I go home, I go to bed, I crash out, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I felt like my appendix burst or something.
Yeah.
I had this pain, like, and I got a good tolerance for pain. I had this pain in me that I was like, what? So I smoke a little bit, I'm trying to calm myself down. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is gnarly. I'm taking a bath and do whatever. So I'm like, whatever. So I deal with it because I don't have health insurance, because they don't give that shit out at Venice Beach. So I don't have, you know what I'm saying? So right. I'm like, I'm going to tough this
Still
thing
Venice
out.
Beach co-op?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I got no 401k. And so, you know, I'm like, I'm going to tough this out. So I waited like 3 or 4 days to the point where it was so bad I couldn't even sit. I couldn't sit down. So finally, I drive myself to the emergency room. I roll in. They do MRI, sonograms, whatever, like all this shit. And they're like, dude, you got like a hairline fracture in your spleen. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How did that happen? They're like, well, that's what we wanted to ask you, because when we see these injuries, it's usually like a professional boxer, like Sonny Bono ski accident, like getting hit by a car. How the fuck did you rupture your spleen? So I finally break and I show him some videos. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. The doctor looks at me. He's like, and most people say this, but it was the first time a doctor ever cursed in front of me. He was like, are you fucking nuts? Boom, right in my eyes. Are you fucking nuts? And I turned to him. I was like, you know what? I guess I am. And he literally said to me that day, he was like, if you do this again, you're going to drop dead. He's like, and I'm telling you as a doctor, like legally, boom, right now.
Right.
Do not do this again. Because if you drop dead doing this tomorrow, they'll come to me and say, hey, your family's going to come and say, hey, I didn't tell you about this. You are 100% done. Don't ever do this again.
Yeah.
So I had to go on a strict diet, all this crazy bullshit to heal that thing up, and medications or whatever. So I kind of knocked it out and did what I needed to do. I healed up. I waited about a year or two, and then boom, right back at it. Fuck it.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
Now, when you, how long were you at like the 4 inches?
When we actually broke the record for the second time when we did it there, and that was the one I was thinking ruptured my spleen. It was the one when Chris pulled me. When he pulled me, collectively the whole time zipped up like that, probably like almost 30 seconds. Right. Which, if you think about it, it's like, oh shit, well, I can hold my breath for 30 seconds. That's not bad. But well, a lot of people can do that, like swimming and stuff, but let me explain something.
Wheelbarrow wants to know how long it was that you waited to do it again.
I waited almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. It was like a year and a half, and then I slowly started doing it again and then got back into it. But what people don't realize is when you do this, it's not like, oh, you just can't breathe. Every single organ in my body is strained, smushed, and actually pushed out of the way. And as like a natural reaction for the body, what it does is it automatically feels that it's in stress.
Yeah.
So everything, gallbladder, liver, everything starts kicking in overtime.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's absolutely no way to breathe. There's no lungs, no air in your lungs.
Because when the corset, it's just over a long period of time
slowly
where they slowly are moving their organs out of the way. So your body is just like, okay, well, this has moved up a little, and then finally they stay there.
Right, and that's the problem with this. It's so instantaneous that your organs go from regular, boom, just stressed out, and everything is out of the way. That when I went and like when I had the spleen eruption, they said they were like, dude, you have the lining of your stomach is tore up, you have internal bleeding, your gallbladder picked it up, you got to take all this shit out. I was like, hell no, give me some Percocets and a doobie, and I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'll figure this one out. I'll figure if I was born with this shit in me, I'm gonna keep it in me.
Mm-hmm. Right?
You know what I mean? I think I might need some of this shit. Like, no, you can live without this and without that. I'm like, yeah, you can live without arms, but motherfucker, I need my arms. You know?
I'm a bleed.
I need my shit. Yeah, so that was a trip.
I think we gotta pull a. You know, could I get my coffin there, Mr. Man, we're gonna pull the name. He's been putting names. Our little butler. Charles Disney joined. Hi, Charles.
Michelle.
Hello, Charles.
No, it's Michelle Myers. Michelle.
Michelle.
Michelle Myers. Come here. Fucking Michelle. You're lucky because before when he was sitting over here doing the sound, he was half naked.
Yeah.
You're lucky he put those clothes on for you.
He put on a shirt.
So stupid. I love it.
All right, I'm going to pick. Dee's going to do a trick in just a minute. Not a trick. We're going to perform a stunt. Sorry. I do the tricks.
I turn the trick.
I turn the tricks. All right. I'm in my coffin. Let's see. Oh, well, Derek Stevenson.
Derek, all right.
Are you
Derek
still there?
Stevenson.
Congratulations, buddy.
Derek.
Derek, are you with us? Let us know if you're with us.
And if you are, send us through the Facebook page your mailing address, and we'll send you a goodie bag.
And I might show up at your place now I got your address.
Yeah, then we have your
You got
address.
beer and meat? If you got beer and meat, I might show up. Derek.
We'll have your address, so he might show up. But if you have beer and meat, you got to feed him. But I'll just show up in the middle of the night and drool on you whilst you
Bring some zip ties.
Okay.
Got some big zip ties on deck.
Yeah.
She shows up.
Yeah.
All right, are we going to get set up? We're going to show a little thing with Dangerous D here.
Yeah.
You ready
Cool,
for
cool,
that?
yeah,
Before
yeah.
we
Bring
go
that
out?
camera up.
Yeah, this is a little something that I don't do too often because it is really, really dangerous. But I figured you guys would have a little fun. And while you're watching and while you see what's going on here, you can see that everything we just talked about isn't bullshit. It isn't fake. It actually is 100%
2 out of
real.
10 times he shits himself when he does this.
Actually 8. 8 out of 10
8
times.
out of 10
So
times.
you might be lucky. Can you grab the tools of destruction?
Yes.
No, wheelbarrow. We're not going to staple his balls, but you're going to like this, I promise.
Yeah, wheelbarrow, you need to look because you're like I'm like your number one fan.
There you go. Boom, boom,
Ladies
boom.
and gentlemen, this is 100% real. This is a real gun. Yeah, you can't fake this. So we're going to see if I actually shit, piss, or drop dead. But either way, Tuesday's going to do the honors. And we're going to see if I can take this. Here we
And
go.
I am going to have so much fucking fun doing
go.
this, all right?
Just hold that back.
All
Don't
right.
let go.
I
Just
will
hold
let
that
go.
motherfucker on. Go.
Okay, we'll give it
Right
an
here,
arm,
right
like,
here,
okay,
right here. You ready?
okay. Put it on
Yeah,
first.
on
and
the
then
whole
do it.
time. Don't let go of that button. Go, go, go.
That's pure entertainment, guys.
Oh, you got me good. You've done that shit before.
Yeah.
You've done it. You're doing your way around a gun.
Usually guys pay for that kind of treatment.
They
Pay top dollar.
Well, no, it's really because of my exes.
Fucking burned. Look.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Damn.
Ooh, there's a burn spot.
You know what you're doing. You know you're like, they better take that away. You know your way around a gun a little too well.
Yeah. The
A little
last
too-
actually, I had one of the. I have one of those, but I had one when I was living in Vegas and married, and we went to the Excalibur. We used to go to the Excalibur because they had the best buffet in town. They really did. It's cheap and the
You can
food's
tell I
like
love a buffet.
so many places. But we would alternate on who paid. So I was my turn to pay, and I'm in line, and I reach in to grab my wallet and stuff, and I set it up on myself, and there I am down on the ground. The Excalibur.
You were just trying to get out of paying the bills, you said. I know that trick.
I'm a little confused.
These people are running over going, oh my God, she's
Pretending-
having a seizure, and my husband knew right away what was going on. He knew how stupid I am with shit. He's like, no, she'll be over it soon. She just fucking stunned her.
Pretending to taser something out of the bill. Oh, let's shit in the book.
That's what happened to me the first time. I tried it. You lock up, you can't let go. You're like, fuck.
Chip wants to know if he can call you Dancing D from now on.
You haven't seen moves like that, Chip, in a while, have you, brother?
RJ Royal came in and says he has a stun gun. He had to buy it when he got a neighbor with kids. So. We've got a love-hate relationship with
Stun guns
RJ.
are fun,
Mr.
kids.
Too Sweet himself.
That's right, stun guns are fun.
Well, we're going to wrap this up.
All right.
We're going to be here every 2 weeks. So I think the next one is the 22nd. We're going to line up a different person.
Yeah.
It could be a stand-up comic, could be a character, could be a sideshow act, performance artist,
Could be
whatever.
something else.
Somebody that's been
Never
on
before
Freak
seen.
Show.
Yeah.
That's right. And for all you guys that watch, make sure you follow me on all fucking social
Exactly.
media. You'll win free shit, and I might show up at your house and do a private show. It's at Darin Malfi at every social media. DARINMALFI.
Here, you hold this right here.
All right.
You put it right there.
Boom, right here we go. This is a real staple gun, by the way.
Holy shit.
Bam.
God, you're strong. And you're even stronger. Fuck. All right, that's enough for me. I gotta
Freak
drink
show.
heavily. You guys are
Hey, what-
fucking
what
crazy.
shows you gotta push?
Freak show. Ha!
For every show, just go to DarinMalfi.com. The whole page is there. You pick the show you want to come to and let me know if you show up and I like you and we like each other. We'll drink together and maybe you can touch my ass. Ah!
That was Dangerous D.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's Cyrus Naderpour.
That's right.
I'm Tuesday Thomas. We're Freak Show, and you know what? We love you. You're our new best friends. We're going to call you all every 10 minutes. Okay, thanks. Bye. Get the fuck out of my living room.
All right.
Yeah.